What I normally don't like to do is be redundant, saying certain things that I already know all of us really truly understand. And just 30 seconds ago, I was just talking to some of the football players, some of the team about respect, right? And you're not disrespecting me. And this is why I'm going to say this in this context, right? You can only hold one thought in your mind at one time. That's how the mind was designed. That's how the mind was created. You see? And I'm going to back this up. Whoever talking in the back, I'm going to back it up one time because I hear it, right? At least give me the opportunity to say what I'm going to say, that we can get out of here, because I'm coming to y'all practice for a reason. But I'm going to go and I'm going to piggyback off what I'm saying and get to the respect, to get to what I really came here and asked them to give me the opportunity to see y'all today. You can only hold one thought in your mind at the same time. That means if you talking and I'm talking, I'm not going to hear what you saying. If I'm talking and you talking and not listening, you're not going to hear what I'm saying. And I'm going to tell you something, bro. It's so dangerous now, man, to not to know something, even for myself. And this is why I'm one of the most effective and efficient brothers in Washington, D.C., because when I talk to them brothers my age, and they get to talking about y'all and they hard-headed, they won't listen, I stop them right there. I stop them. And the first thing I ask them is, have you been out there talking to them? Because if you haven't established a relationship with them, then don't talk to them about me. And then I go into what I'm going to talk about now, right? What y'all don't like is the hypocrisy. I don't know what it is about this generation that y'all can detect BS. Y'all can detect if it's not genuine and authentic. I don't know what it is, but I know what I know. And if we ain't coming right with y'all, you don't want to hear it. Is that right? Am I lying? That's why I'm starting on and piggyback on respect. Because remember 3 weeks ago, I said respect comes from the Latin prefix re, which means again, and spect means to look at again. So respect means to look at it again, because the same respect that you want and you deserve is the same respect that you're going to have to give. And that's a major issue that's going on in every level of society. Everybody wants respect, but don't want to give it. When I went up Roosevelt yesterday, they asked me to come up there because they got some issues that's naturally. I went in there knowing that already that y'all was in the championship. And after we got into the business, I'm walking through the hallway, man. I'm with Dunbar, man. And they was laughing. Some of them was laughing, some of them was serious. But I was telling them why the football team is going to win this game. And all they kept saying was, we beat them before. And my argument was, used to be is like never was. Let me say that again. That was my argument. Yeah, you beat them. I'm talking about now. Are you going to beat them now? And I said emphatically, I'll be at the game. Everybody all right? So I wanted to come back this time before y'all play the game and just to say a few words, because me studying y'all, I ain't speaking to y'all, I'm studying y'all. I'm walking around because I'm looking at each one of y'all eyes, and all of y'all got a genuine concern for each other. That's a blessing for me to see, because I don't see no unity outside in society. I don't see it. I don't see it in the mosque. I don't see it in the church. It ain't there. I don't see it. And that's special for me to see. And this is why I mentioned 3 weeks ago when y'all handled that business in the hallway. And I just happened to be there. See, because that's the beautiful thing about it, but that has to transfer dealing with life circumstances. It just got to go like that, man. See? So it got to be like a beehive. You know what happened when you hit that beehive? What happened when you hit that beehive? What happened when you hit the beehive, bruh? All of them coming out. All of them coming out, all of them stinking. And that's how it has to go. Is that right? Now, I'm not going to hold the brothers long today because I know you're tired. I'm looking. You know, I asked a few questions. What's up, brother? I'm tired. You know, and I said to him, that's a blessing because all of us have to learn how to operate under duress. You know, I know myself. I operate at my best when I got enough rest, when I ate right, and my energy and my attitude is where it's supposed to be. But it's going to become time dealing with life circumstances that it's not going to be the case. So we have to learn how to operate under duress. And I'm kind of glad that y'all practicing today in the cold. Because ain't no doubt about it, next Thursday, it's going to be cold. No jacket, no boots. And this is how we have to prepare ourselves to operate like that. Because that's the climate and the environment that you're going to have to play that game in. And it's going to come down once again to the fourth quarter. Who is the best conditioned and who wanted more? And I'm going to kick it off with this. Everybody all right? All right. Practice don't make perfect. Let me say that again. Because you'll be in practice in a few minutes. Practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice make perfect. I'm going to say that again. Because if practice makes perfect, if you are practicing wrong, then the end result's not going to be right. Have you ever considered why LeBron James has a trainer? Why Steph Curry has a trainer? Why Michael Jordan had a trainer? Why Serena Williams had a coach? Why Floyd Mayweather had a trainer? Have you ever considered why they had coaches and trainers? Even though all of the people that I just mentioned is gifted and talented, why do they have trainers and coaches? All of them got one thing that's common amongst all of them. All of them paid for correction. Listen, football team, man. You ready to play that game next Thursday. And everybody gonna be hyped on that football team, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be some mistakes made. How are you gonna handle it, man? Are you gonna blow off the hook? Or are you gonna say, okay, wait a minute, see? Because even if you make a mistake, if you go back and make a mistake or correct that mistake, then it ain't a mistake no more. I'm gonna say it again. Once you make a mistake, we human, we gonna make mistakes. But if you go back and correct that mistake, then it ain't a mistake no more. But all of those athletes, all as great as they are, they paid people to correct them. And what am I saying? Off the football field. I'm saying a fool despises correction, but a wise man loveth reproof. See, a wise person always want to get it right. A wise person don't have a problem with being corrected because they want to be right. And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, football team. Because this game right here is the biggest game of your season. And then the question is, we can be like Mike Tyson. This time, fighting Evander Holyfield. See, when you're going up against an opponent that you can make fearful of you before you get in that ring or in some kind of competition, then half of the fight or half of the battle has always been won or already has been won. But when you're going up against an opponent that has enough respect for you, remember y'all played them already. So you know how strong they are and you know their weakness. And this is what I said 3 weeks ago. Don't forget this. Death come through weakness. Death don't come through strength. So they're going to attack each and one of you, not at your strength. Thank you, brother. They're going to attack you where you weak at. And wherever you weak at, you're going to have to acknowledge that you weak right there and get it strong. But see, if you acting or if you proud, haughty, conceited in both, where you can't accept no instructions or correction, y'all gonna lose, man. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, because this is not a one-man sport, it's a team sport. And ain't no doubt about it, y'all more talented than the rest of them. Not just them, the rest of them. So the question is, even though y'all lost the game to them pride, did you learn anything, or what was the lesson coming out of it? Because I was amazed. Given a little bit more time, y'all was coming back. Just ran out of time. And that showed me the fight, the strength, the desire to win the game. That's why I went and told him yesterday, Dunbar gonna win this one. And I was dead serious. Everybody all right? All right, football team, I know y'all tired. I'm gonna say this because I don't want to hold y'all long, because I'm gonna be out there with the cold with y'all. I just want to see y'all practice. I'm so inspired, man. I cut everything that I was doing today. Even when it comes down to me financially taking care of myself. You know, that's the sacrifice that I'm making. It don't make no difference to me, man. I work hard and I live right. I'm not in the street. I can make me some money. I just start again tomorrow to do that. But I'm saying, man, words are beautiful, but action is supreme. I'm not going to get in front of you saying all of these things and don't support you. Not doing it. So as long as y'all out there practicing, we got to, particularly myself, got to show the proper report. So I'm going to make these couple of points and we're going to get up out of here. But since we are students in Dunbar High School, biologically speaking, a woman produces 1 egg per month. And a man, every time your heart beats, you crank out 1,000 sperms. I'm gonna say that again. I want you to listen to me, Dunbar. We students, we in high school. Let me back this one up. A woman produce 1 egg a month. But every time your heart beats, you crank out 1,000 sperm. And in order for human life to begin, from your perspective, from the man perspective, 200 million to 300 million sperms is ejaculated into a woman's womb. And if you are a natural man, like I think that you are, the womb of a woman is a hostile environment. This is why she come on her menstrual every month. Cleansed, purified. This is the key. 200 million to 300 million sperms is ejaculated into her womb. The beautiful thing about it, biologically speaking, brother, because if you listen to me and I'm slowing it down as much as I can, that you can see yourself in, because some of us think that we cannot do certain things. And really, can't shouldn't be in our vocabulary. Straight up. So, since 200 million to 300 million sperms is ejaculated into a woman's womb, some of those 300 million cells, sperms, take the wrong turn and die. Pay attention back there, youngin', because I'm coming with something. $299 million of the 300 million. Some of them take the wrong turn and die. 299 of those 300 million. Some of them swim around in circles. But one of them out of that 300 million travels upstream at 28 miles per hour to meet that egg. I'm gonna say it again, bro, because I'm talking about you when you were sperm. You wouldn't be here. I'm talking about you, brother. I'm gonna make it straight up. I'm talking about each one of us in here. Damn it, you was traveling at 28 miles per hour. You was moving fast in a hostile environment, as some of those sperms took the wrong turn and died, and some of those sperms were swimming around in circles, and some of the homies right now has took the wrong turn and they dead. Then some of the homies right now is moving around in circles in the hood. But you in Dunbar High School, talking to you now. And the odds of coming into existence, brother, you did this as sperm, was 100 million to 7 billion odds, bruh. Don't nobody beat them odds. You beat them. We beat them. I beat them. And the beautiful thing about that is, as sperm family, there was intelligence there. That sperm knew exactly where to go, and it knew exactly what to do, man. So whenever you get in a situation, bro, when you say it's too hard, and I don't know what to do, remember what you knew how to do when you were just sperm. Let me say that again. And let me slow it down, because we're just doing too much movement and too much talking. Because I can guarantee you, bro, as long as you got breath in your body, you're going to have to remember this. Just like I remember it every day. I got a contract on 19th and Minnesota Avenue. And I got to remember this every night on that south side, bro. Where ain't no lights on the block. And I ain't got no glove. I'm going in there with my experience and my intelligence, bro. And they spinning the block, ain't no doubt about it, brother, and I'm coming up out of this. So I'm not speaking to y'all in the abstract. And this is why I'm slowing it down, that you can understand, because once again, it's the decision that you're going to have to make, more so now as the football team for next Thursday. I'm not speaking no vain words, man, because there are going to be some mistakes being made. But how do you recover from the mistakes because the game is so big. And sometimes when situations is so big like that, it overwhelms you if you're not prepared. So why did I mention the odds? 100 million to 7 billion odds, bro. We don't supposed to be here, but we beat them. So if we beat those odds as sperm, imagine now, what is it that you can't accomplish? What is it that you can't do? And you did it as sperm. And that what keeps me going, and that what kept me going. Even though when I was in that cell for 23 hours a day with no television, no windows, sometimes no books, and you got to deal with your own mind, man. And your mind has to be strong when you know your op. I'm gonna say it again. When you know that your op is gonna use your strength against you. And this is why I be passionate about talking to this generation, because y'all have to deal with something that I just didn't have to deal with, man. You know, of course, there was violence, there was killing in the neighborhood. That's one thing, man, but they 12-year-old now. They 13-year-olds now. They 14 and 15-year-olds, man. That just might not like how you looked at them. And if you're not vigilant in the way of what's transpiring, that's what it is. And at the end of the day, remember, 3 weeks ago, I said the first law of nature is self-preservation. You ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to you, so what's the decision that you're gonna make? Because you have to preserve your life from the greatest to the smallest. Can't break that law. So the same message that I'm conveying to you, I live with it every day, one way or another. Everybody all right? And for me, it's a blessing for me just to be given the opportunity to come to speak to this football team, man. And I'm gonna tell the coaches that this evening, because one thing about even the coaching staff, they don't let anybody around y'all, which is a blessing because y'all need to be protected. You know, and this is why I come up here. Don't nobody pay me to come up here. I'm not money motivated like that. I'm successful already. I got my own business, bro. So I'm successful. The thing for me is, yeah, I love this generation. I love this generation because in my day, I didn't see nobody loving me like I love y'all. What do you mean by that? See, because that word love has to be defined. Is that right, bro? Is that right? I'm gonna say it again. How you gonna love somebody you don't know? That's a legitimate question. And this is why I'm going back, because we students in the classroom. See, remember, family, love is never a noun. And this is why we set ourselves up with some of our homies and some of our women that we deal with. You can buy her all the things that you want her, because she's not a thing. And this is why when you look at Shaq and the rest of those brothers that divorced their women, even though they got all that money, you got to ask yourself the question and say, well, wait a minute, man. Man, the man got 600-700 million and he couldn't keep a wife. So you got to, I questioned myself about that. And I say, well, damn, man, you know, of course he can buy her whatever she desires. So what is the issue? Because ain't no doubt about it, she got children by him. Ain't no doubt about it, he loved her and she loved him. And this is why going to the etymology, to the root of words is so important, because you got to question your love for people and their love for you. Love is never a noun. Now, since we are in Dunbar High School, what is a noun? What is a noun? Talk up, brother. Don't get shy now. Person, place, a thing, right? So if love is never a noun, you can give a person all you want, all the things you want. And after a while, that thing will run out. Love is always a verb. What is a verb? Say it again, brother. He's the only one in here. We're in the legendary Dunbar High School as students. And you cannot tell me that the teachers is not teaching you. What is a verb and what is a noun? Love, bruh, is always action. I'm going to say it again, football team. You love your fellow potential champion? I'm going to say it again. Do you love playing with your potential champion? This is the football team. And if you love it, you got to prove it by your actions. And I'm going to tell you, truth be told, bro, from my family to the ones around me, I don't let too many people around me. Because based on that definition, realistically, I know they don't love me. Their love consists of what I can give them or what they can give me. I don't want it. And I'm going to tell you why, bro. What happens when I can't give them what they think they deserve? What happens to the love? That's why I'm talking like this football team. This is why I'm talking to you, Dunbar. Because you young men, future is so bright. Not only future is so bright, you young men are so highly intelligent, especially in your decision making. We just got to make sure that we are covering down for ourselves. Because it's so, I'm talking about when you leave out of practice and you go back home and go back in the same atmosphere and go back in the same environment, it's so dire and dangerous that you have to make decisions every day. I do. I have to make decisions every day, even though some of the decisions I have to stand down based on my experience and what I don't like. And this is why, last point, I got a few or more of you players coming in, and I'm gonna make the last point and we gone, man. Can you give me a few minutes, bro? Can you give me a few minutes, football team? Come on, y'all got to speak up, man. I know you're tired. Can you give me a few minutes, football team? I just need a few more minutes, bro. Because when it's all said and done, for me anyway, y'all be on my mind. That's why I keep coming back. I ain't asked them for nothing. I got a manhood training program that they begging me for to pay me. No. Saying no. I don't want no money, man. I just want to get a chance to establish a relationship with y'all. It ain't about money with me because I know how that goes. You know? And this is why I feel y'all, man. I don't feel your pain because pain is just weakness leaving the body. That's all pain is. But I understand why the mindset and attitude y'all possess today. Because all you really want is a person to be 100. Is that right, bro? That's all you want. Not 99.9, 100. Same with myself. Because I just want to know what I'm dealing with. And I'm going to make this last point, and we out of here. A caterpillar has 4 stages in its development. Let me say that again. A caterpillar has 4 stages in its development in its life. And I mentioned my youth, going down to youth center. I mentioned my desire to showcase and manifest my talent. And I mentioned the wrong decisions that I made. And ain't no doubt I mentioned the 23 years that I did it in the feds. I want you to follow me, bro, because you're going to see yourself in it. A caterpillar has 4 stages in its life cycle. And the first stage in its life cycle is an egg. The second stage is a caterpillar. The third stage is the cocoon. And the fourth stage is a butterfly. Do you know a caterpillar, when it is in its first stage, something begins to happen in its genetics? Let me say that again. In a caterpillar's first stage, something begins to happen in its genetics. And the something that happens is called a metamorphosis. And this is what all of us going through, not only as the football team, not only as young men, but also as students. We going through a metamorphosis. And remember, I said in order to understand the English language, we have to go through the what? Etymology, the root of the word, right, bro? Metamorphosis comes from the Greek word meta, which means over, and morph means form. So metamorphosis means form over. Let me say that again. Form over. So that caterpillar, even though it is in its first stage, it goes into what you call a dormant state of death or rest. And some of us right now is going through that metamorphosis stage. It seems like you ain't going nowhere. It look like it's hard because struggles are days. You're not getting the things that you're striving for right now, even though you're in school. Some of you, matter of fact, all of you have made the decisions, man, I'm not going in the street. I'm staying in school and I'm graduating. Is that right? I'm going to say it again. All of you have made the decision, look, man, I'm not going to allow the gravitational pull of society. I'm not going to allow the streets to overtake me and my desires. I'm going to stay in Dunbar High School, and I'm going to graduate and make something of myself. Is that right? All right. So when the caterpillar is in that dormant state of rest, it forms a cocoon around itself. Good God Almighty. I always thought, when I seen the process of a caterpillar on a tree, I thought something was transpiring outside of it. But the caterpillar, it is evolving, it's growing, it's developing. So something within itself is producing a cocoon around itself. Is everybody all right? All right, let me stop right there. As you developing as a student, Dunbar High School is your cocoon. With all that killing in the city, you can't go up northwest, southeast, southwest, or northeast. Can't even watch the news. Every morning somebody died. That's why I'm telling you, stay in school, man. Dunbar is your cocoon. So while that caterpillar is growing and developing, it is in the cocoon, and guess what? If the outside condition is not right, family, that caterpillar would stay in its cocoon for 3 years. Let me say that again. Stay in school, bro. It's so hostile out there. And I mentioned to you the first time that I talked to you, bro. What brought this to my attention was the backup quarterback of Roosevelt, man. Ain't had nothing to do with nothing, just playing football, man. Caught a stray bullet, man, in the back of his head, man. Out of here. He just wanted to play football, man. That's why I had y'all on my mind. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, bro. I'm developing a relationship with y'all. Somebody got the answer for something happening to y'all, man. Y'all in school. That's why I talk to Miss Kit. That's why I talk to AB or AP Lawrence. That's why I talk to Spivey. And that's another reason why I'm coming to the practice. Something happened to one of y'all, bro. Somebody got the answer. Y'all in school, man. This is why I'm having this conversation. Dunbar High School is your cocoon, man. Stay in school. You making the decision, are you going to, man, stay on the football team, stay in school, but at the end of the day, sling on the side? That's your decision. But I'm telling you, you're going to lose. Telling you, you're going to lose, man. I mentioned that month ago, ain't no code out there no more. And I had to be one of the guys that when we came in the system, to see was he one of those, to see if he gonna stay amongst us or not. And I know the temptation to want the latest gear, and the temptation to want some money, because we living in the 21st century. I know that it's hard, but you're gonna have to make a conscious decision, but more so stay in the cocoon of Dunbar High School. Stay in school, bruh. Stay in school. And just like that caterpillar, it would stay in its cocoon for 3 years. If the outside condition is not right, it ain't coming out of that cocoon. I'm gonna say that again. It ain't coming out. In order for that caterpillar to come out, the outside condition has to be right. And I'm telling you, it's so dark and dire out there. The outside condition in Washington, D.C., you can almost smell a stench because the ignorance is so thick you can cut it with a butter knife. Don't nobody respect nobody's life no more. And you have to live in an environment like that at the same time. Try to get an education as a student. At the same time, live out your promise of at least trying to go to college on a scholarship. Is that right? I know what I'm talking about. I know the decision that you have to make every day. And right now, you winning. And this is why I'm saying for the 5th time, young brothers in the back, give me the same opportunity and the respect that I'm giving you, because I'm telling you, bro, a lot of what I'm saying, you're going to have to fall back on, and I'm telling you, it's not a game, man. Ain't no game, man. And sometimes it's not adequate to be no damn talking, because silence makes no mistakes. Sometimes you just got to keep your damn mouth shut. It ain't time to talk a lot of times. It's a time to listen sometimes. And this is why I ask, and I'm going to have to do the question and answering, because I'm going to have to listen to you, bro. Because if I listen long enough, I know what some of the problems is that we can come up with a solution. But sometimes we just talk too much. And half the time, the things that we're talking about is not even relevant, man. So if the outside condition is not right, the caterpillar will stay up there or stay in there up to 3 years. Stay in school football team. You got 7 days before you win the championship. Focus starting this evening on the practice and all the mistakes that you previously you made to correct those mistakes so we can celebrate the victory. Is that right? I'm going to say it again, man. That we can celebrate the victory. Because Dunbar produced champions. Am I right? So with that being said, Dunbar, I'll see you at practice. Question and answering. Know somebody got a question? Anybody got a question? Anybody? What about you, youngster? Yes, sir. Who got a question? Anybody? Okay, stand up, brothers, that I can hear you. That I can hear you, bro. Ain't no wrong questions. How was life for me right now? Right now for me is a blessing for me. And I'm going to tell you why it's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for me because every day I get a chance to reflect on what I had to live with. See, this is what, and that's a beautiful question, bro. Y'all want to listen to this, man. See, that question is so beautiful and it's relevant for me because what it allowed me to do is check myself. I deal with what y'all deal with. I deal with the ignorance every day, what y'all got to deal with. Now, what makes that question so relevant is I got to deal with the fact, bro, I'm not going back to jail, bro. That's why I got them college degrees, man. That's why I got these 3 college degrees. I'm not going back to no jail. I'm 56 years old, man. Them people took the best years of my life. I'm not going back to jail based on the decision that I'm making every day. I make some. They get to talking crazy out there. Ain't no doubt about it. That's naturally what it is. But what I'm saying, family, I'm not emotionally sensitive. I'm not going to allow my emotions to supersede my intelligence. I just came out of there. You ain't talking like, what's the brother, Lil Boosie. You ain't talking me off the street. You talking, man. I know what goes on Instagram and Facebook. I goes up 640 Morton Street with them little rappers up there. Then I heads up Kennedy Street, and I'm telling you, cut it out. Because you playing. You ain't about that life. And I got the credibility to tell them that based on my experience, what I just done. I'm not going back to jail like that, man. Well, somebody got to tell me when I have to go to bed. I got to make the decision of the one phone call that I can make with 180 other people. I'm better than that. So life, to answer your question, is marvelous for me right now. What makes it marvelous for me was exercising one of those degrees I got, which is the business degree. I got my own business. I get 200-something thousand. I got an S550 out there. That's my S550 parked out there. I wear crocodiles, lizards, and gators. Top of the line. I ain't asking nobody for nothing because I don't need to. I'm exercising my intelligence. And when I talk to people, they can't find them. Man, this man been incarcerated 23 years. Nah, they had my body. They never had my mind. Because, like I said a month ago, I deal with myself. I knew all the mistakes that I made. I was wrong. I knew I was wrong. See, so I'm not playing tricks with my own mind. And what I had to do, I had to go back and correct that pattern of thinking. And when I corrected that, I execute a plan and I carry it out. And this is why I'm here, to support all of y'all outside of the average things based on what I can do for all of y'all. That's why I'm here. And this is why they asked me to go in all the high schools. They didn't want anybody going in. They ain't letting anybody go to them high schools like that. And this is why when they called me to go up Roosevelt yesterday, what I did was premeditate based on my relationship with y'all. I watched the game when y'all almost came back. I watched the mistakes. And naturally, we're going to make mistakes. But see, when you know your opponent, beautiful question that you asked me, how's life? I know my out. See? And sometimes we can be our own opposition based on what we think. So we got to learn how to get up our own way. But 2 years from being in jail, it's beautiful for me, man. I get to travel where I want to travel. You know, I can go wherever I want to go. And this is why my message even to the football team. You know, it's hard for me to let people around me because I got to know who they is. Just like y'all, man. Y'all ain't going to let anybody around y'all. Remember, I'm just coming back, young brother. And my friends is on 17, strung out. And the other ones is dead. I left in 98, October the 30th, 98, man. Just getting back. I left in the 20th century. This is the 21st century. So I don't have a whole lot of friends from that perspective. And the ones that I did have, I ran across them in the circle, locked up with the life sentences in the feds. So I do all that I can to get them lawyers and investigators because remember, brother, I'm hooked up to C. Sosa. I'm also hooked up to the Public Defender Service, which I never spoke about. 633 Indiana Avenue. I mentioned to y'all that I was a case study. They're trying to study how did you evolve, how did you develop under those circumstances. They want movie, they want books. I'm not interested in none of that. I don't care nothing about none of that. Nothing. I ain't kidding about none of that. My mind is y'all, man. That's where my mind is. That's why I went out and formulated my own business, because I got to be free to say what I want to say, man. I'm not with Mayor Bowser administration, even though I'm around her. I'm around Lamont Curry from Mocha. I'm around him. That's one of my best friends. Even though I work with Mr. Paul Elin with the branch chief of C. Sosa, I don't work for them. It's the resources in the people in which I learned how to deal with. I deal with people. So I'm not asking for no money. I just turned down a $3.3 million grant, turned it down. I ain't chasing no money, man. That was a setup for me. I ain't never had no $1 million. So they willing to give me $3.3 million. You knew what it would have taken for me to deal with that kind of money? That means I would have had to have gotten 3 different accountants. Because they so diabolical and slick and slimy. It looked like it's right on paper. But I'm back in the feds because the IRS gonna look for that money. $1 missing, I'm going back to jail. I told them, y'all keep that money, man. Them the decisions that you gotta make. Because that's how ops is coming. They ain't coming on the strength, young brother. That was a beautiful question. They coming through your weakness. So for me, I just have the freedom to move around. But the same thing that I was doing in the feds of helping people is the same thing that I'm doing now. I didn't miss a beat. Not one beat. See? The only difference is I don't like the conversation that I have with people about y'all generation. I don't like it. You know, it's easy to condemn. And the first thing I say, well, wait a minute. I'm listening to you. Have you talked to them? No. Then how are you going to tell me what the issue is with them? And you haven't went out there and talked to them And truth be told, brother, even law enforcement is scared. Even law enforcement is scared, man. So now, they making a move justifying it. And now, I'm making a move, man, to justify calling them out. Because your job is to protect and serve, but you taking a life because you can. Man, who gonna tell them people that? So you got to put yourself in a position. You ask me, how's life for me? This is what I do. Like y'all, man, you can't scare me. I'm not afraid. And this is what a lot of us older people don't understand with y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all just not scared. It ain't in y'all. So that's the beautiful thing for me of being home 24 months. I ain't learned how to use this phone. They had them in there. I wouldn't get one because what I didn't speak to y'all about, and probably the next time, I was Central Inmate Monitor. They was monitoring me from the Justice Department. Them cameras all in the feds. They had to write reports every 2 hours. Where is he at and what is he doing every 2 hours? So right now in the day, that's why I don't like a lot of people around me. They ain't gonna let me go in the feds and just take that place over and know what I'm doing right now. In less than 2 years, I'm around the politicians. I'm in the high schools now. I got major juice and credibility in the street, and the ones that's been out here playing, I don't want them around. Everybody begging me to come in here. I say, man, y'all ain't coming in. I'm not playing with young men like that. This ain't no damn photo op. What you was doing prior, you wasn't doing nothing prior for them then. You ain't coming into no damn Dunbar, using me as no vehicle, putting it on social media like you putting major work in. Nah, that ain't happening. Talking about some of my, man, I love them homies. They ain't coming in here. You ain't out in the street with me, 1 o'clock in the morning, making them decisions, man. 11 o'clock uptown, M Street, K Street, Southwest. You ain't making them decisions where I got to go down there at night, man, to stop them brothers from doing what they're doing. You ain't coming around me in these schools. That's just how I go. That's just how I go. Any more questions, bro? Any more, family? Any more? Any more questions, family? Thank you, Dunbar. Let's go win the championship. Roll Tide.